There we go.
Okay.
Okay, now we're live? Yes.
Yes,
We're
we are.
live.
Oh
Hi,
my God.
everybody.
62 people already?
What?
No.
62? Oh, as if.
Who
Not
did
yet.
that? I
I'm
thought
Greg.
it was real. Hi, everybody. Hi, Lao.
Hello. Hi,
Hi,
Carmen. Hi,
Jeffrey.
Jeffrey.
Hi, Carmen. Hi, Lao.
Mhm.
I hope you guys are ready for today.
I
Yes.
am as organized for today as I am normally organized. Take
And I
that.
love it.
I'm usually very organized, except for my ink samples, which is still a project to do.
It's never ending.
Mhm.
Never ending.
But do you
Uh,
guys feel that once you have it organized a certain way, then you're like, oh, I don't like it as much. And then you have to do it a whole different way.
To redo it.
Yes and no. So I have my ink vials like in these little cases, and they're all swatched on the top and swatched in a passport. What happens is like I'll dedicate some time and I'm like, okay, we're doing this, and I do the stickers and I swatch them all and I put them in the book, and then I'll get like 20 more ink samples, and I'm like, ugh, it's like 45 steps of things to do.
Yep.
So I'm like, okay, I'll wait. And then they pile up and pile up.
Oh, yeah, no. You have to do it as soon as you get them, because if not, you're in trouble.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed. So
The only
Now, how do you organize it?
okay, the sample vials themselves, I don't have a organizational way to do them. I just kind of throw them all in the box that I have, but I do organize my swatches, and then I put them into like a big binder.
Yeah.
And here I can just share it. And I think I could use the method that you talked about last week, but oh, hold on. I have yet to continue organizing because I bought so many samples, but they're just like that.
That's
Oh.
yours.
And then if I ever have to add more, I can move them around any way I want. Yeah.
Very nice.
So
Hey, Carlos. Oh, we have dinner.
hello. Hi, Tom.
Happy anniversary,
Yeah.
Carlos.
Oh, happy anniversary.
You snagged the winner, both of you. And
I
then
know.
my ADHD brain will forget this, so I'm just gonna drop this in this conversation about ink samples.
Yeah.
There are some pen books on Amazon that just have the elastic loop.
Mm-hmm.
An ink sample is not really a whole lot bigger. Hi, Claire. A whole lot bigger than a pen. So if you got a $12 or $15 pen book, like 40 pen book on Amazon, you could also have all of your samples in the little elastic loops and keep your ink vials in books instead.
Wait, I lost you.
What kind of book can hold?
Yeah, what kind of book?
Well, okay, just any old pen book that has the elastic.
Oh, now I know what you mean.
Yeah, so
like a pen pouch.
Well, okay. This is an awkward move of the day. But do you see how there's like the little elastic loops?
Yeah.
You could put your ink vials in there.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yes.
I wouldn't necessarily use a Galen leather 40 pen book, but some less expensive ones from Amazon.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Okay.
I just have the acrylic tray from Goulet Pens. It looks like a science little tube. I just have that.
That's not a bad idea. There I have seen some like pen cases where there's 2 elastic bands per pen, so you can potentially put 2 in the area.
You could do a pen and then the sample of ink that's in the pen. That seems like a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, a lot of maintenance, but that's a good way to store them if you don't have a storage space.
Yeah, because sometimes you have bookshelf, but you know, maybe not vertical
I don't
space.
have that. I just have 2 of those trays. So right now for my ink samples, it's pretty good. And then I keep my swatches for my samples in here. And then I just, you know,
Okay.
it's small. So I have my ink samples in there. But then my full bottles, that's what I keep in here.
Okay. My samples are 4 or 5, depending if I've forgotten how many are on a page.
Yeah.
In a little passport insert that's marked samples, and then in the front of that same one, I say in the front, but there's none actually in there. My sister's coming this weekend to be my ink co-worker. So we're gonna swatch them all on like the wearing little puppy cards.
Yes.
It's cute and it makes me happy. And then also we're gonna swatch them in here. And this was Lexi Lip Gloss's idea, is to put them all in a traveler's, because then that's small enough that I have something I can take with me to the one pen show I go to a year. But
yeah,
I will be prepared
for the next one.
Yes, I will be highly prepared.
I started doing, when you first start into this hobby, you start it one way, and then midway you change it. And I had it in a book. Actually, I had it in a traveler's notebook. But then my crazy side of me, I want to keep it in some sort of order. I don't care much as the samples, but my bottles, I like to keep like all the yellows, all the orange. And if I have it in a book, I can't. So that's why I went to the little ring thing, because this I can organize whichever way I want. And it's small.
Okay, controversial question about the coloring.
Good.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I found, and I just want to see if you think this is true, and Lao, I don't know if you've used them, but I find that when I swatch ink on those cards, they are way more muted. There's like almost a hazing on the paper that makes the ink look incredibly different than if I'm swatching on Midori or Tomoe River paper or Cosmo Airlight.
Do you use the rough side or the smooth side?
The smooth side?
There's one side it's smoother.
Yeah, one side is smoother.
One side is smoother than the other.
I think despite one side being smoother, when I swatched on both sides, they're relatively the same to me.
Yeah.
I think the paper itself, I'm not even sure what it's made out of. They don't tell us specifically if it's, but it doesn't seem like it would be any fountain pen paper we normally use either.
No.
Yeah, it felt like tag board, like poster board, kind of.
It's really absorbent looking.
Yes, and I just felt like the color was so. Nice. I mean, from swatching on paper though, paper to paper is different.
Yeah,
It doesn't say it's 160 GSM.
Yeah,
that's all.
That is pretty
for
thick.
me, it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah,
for me personally.
Yeah, like you said, Jeffrey, every paper is a little different, and so even coloring is going to be different, but I don't think it shows it too terribly off.
No, I mean, it's not like orange suddenly looks green. I do think when pen companies, stores, Atlas, Goldspot, Goulet, Pen Chalet, etc., I think when they, and Ferris Wheel Press, of course, any company showing you ink should tell you which paper that ink was swatched on, because I eat French fries for the ketchup, and a lot of times I use pens for the ink. The pen is the method to get. I am very color centric, and so I want the ink that I am seeing on the screen. And sometimes, you get it and you're like, well,
really different.
Sometimes the camera too.
Yeah, I mean, color, it's just so many minute changes.
Right.
And sometimes a change in one direction or another, and you don't love the You don't love the
overall ink anymore.
the color. Tom says, I think Anna from the Well-Appointed Desk said the rougher side is the side to use.
Yeah, that's the side I use. I had heard the same thing.
Okay.
Oh.
But
I do that
somebody,
too.
yeah, on the rough side, right?
Okay.
Somebody yesterday commented, I was watching some video and this one lady, they were actually talking about these, and she was using the smooth side only because she puts a stamp, she stamps her little picture and then she swatches that. And
Yeah.
she said it doesn't go on the rough side. So for me, it doesn't matter because I just swatch it. I don't put I don't stamp it and then swatch it. But that's why she uses the smooth side.
Yeah.
Okay, well, apparently I was the drama. Carmen, can you take one of those cards off and next time you
and send you one?
Yes, because I threw them out. Like I threw them out. I was like, oh no, I'm not doing this.
Oh no.
So, but I was most definitely using the smooth side.
Oh.
Hello. I mean, like the
Coloring. Please accept my formal apology for my own.
The rough side faces up with the front of the whole thing. So that's how I determined that.
Yes, you see, but I am left-handed. I approach notebooks from the back and then write from the back to the front. I know. Because otherwise there's this and upside down because it's
wow.
You know that there's something in my brain that is disorganized.
Okay.
Yeah. Claire likes the cards too. The Waringle cards. I can't say that word.
Waringle. Yeah, Waringles are great.
I've been tempted to get those for my samples.
Now, I haven't. I'm sorry. No. No, I'll say it. Okay, so there are some Waringle cards that the card has. They have not all. I think they have some that just have like an ink bottle line drawing. But a lot of them have like a plasticky resist, which is how they, I have found the ones that are mostly resist and then maybe a leaf in the middle are much harder to work with than the ones like the puppy, where just the little puppy's face is the resist and you can just swatch on the card. Those were easier. There was less mess.
See, I'm glad you brought that up because I was considering getting the one, the cat one, because me and fear of dogs. I can't have the dogs.
It's the same as the dog, isn't it? Where the cat's face stays white.
The cat's face, well, the whiskers, I think. The whiskers on the cat
stay white.
But the face is the one that you put the ink in.
Oh.
Oh, Claire doesn't like the
plastic stuff. Yeah.
I keep going back and forth. This is very good because I almost made a mistake then and bought them.
And they cost more too, so just don't bother.
I know.
Not that it's too much.
The ones are so cute.
They actually had it on sale for Pen Day, and I had it in my cart, and then I never got it. And then I figured, okay, when Black Friday goes on, maybe I'll get it. But now I'm questioning it. Maybe I should just stay with what I have.
I think it's like $5 or $6 for the plain ones without the plastic coating.
Yeah,
and that's like $100. Or I mean, it's. I misclicked at one point when I was buying the puppy ones, and I now have 400 puppy.
400. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
The puppies come in like a 50. It's 50 in a pack, and somehow I had meant to buy 4, but then like my computer was lagging, so I added 4 again, and then they're not super expensive when you have a big order of ink and pens and stuff,
Compared to that, yeah.
So it arrived, and I just kept pulling them out of the box. It was like magic tricks with the from the scarves. Yes.
I mean, Okay, well, that's not terrible because I also bought 4 packs of these, hundreds. So now I have 400 now, which will
Yeah.
last me a very long time.
right?
I
Hopefully.
want to order another ring, but the ones for the samples, since I don't really care, I just want to see as long as it looks as close to the sample color, I'm not
Yeah.
that picky. So the ones that I have for my samples, I made these. I just got cardstock and put it on my silhouette, which by the way, the silhouette might go out the window one day because I'm fed up with it.
Good.
But
You can change
we
it.
doing those stickers for you and me, Jeffrey.
Woohoo.
I don't care about these, but this I have to
Yeah,
order.
you gotta have your
order more.
coloring.
Now that we're talking about organization with the inks, I heard something else other than just the cards and this. Have you guys heard of campus notebooks?
Campus
Yes.
Kokuyo?
That Pence has them. You have it, Jeffrey?
I think
How
it's
thin is it? It's Lao. It's like like me, where I want to be able to have a section for blue and then a
Mhm.
section for green. But if
Yeah,
you have a notebook, then you're like, well, how many pages do I leave for greens? So
yeah.
this notebook has supposedly you can open it from the top and the bottom. Yes. And then you can add sheets as you go along
How do you add sheets? Like, how
from
do
the
they
top.
stay?
what?
Yours are, oh no, that's not it, Jeffrey. This
Oh no,
looks,
it's a,
no, this is a campus notebook.
Okay.
And then
What is it called?
it's like
Like
a
an
ring, like
example.
I don't know, like a lot of little rings.
I like a.
And when
Mhm.
you click the top, the rings open, and that's when
Oh,
you add
okay.
pages.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
And if I'm not mistaken, somebody, the girl, who, yes, those are the rings. No, that's the binder.
Ah, I knew it was the Kokuyo.
Cocoyo Campus. I just remembered Campus. That was the
Mhm.
name that just popped into my head. That's the one. Tom, do you have one? Do you like it? I
So it
wonder.
would have rings. So it makes me think of the folks who use the ring binder
The plotter.
planner system. Yeah, the plotter.
Yeah.
Um, because
Let's
then,
see.
oh yeah, go ahead. That's true. Plotter is expensive. I don't have any. Oh, yeah, why don't you use it? Or is
Yeah.
there another thing like another um way you can use the Kokuyo? Or is that mainly what it's for?
I
I
mean,
don't know.
it's just like a binder, right?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It would be
Yeah.
like rings like this. They're
Hmm.
all small rings. It would be the same thing, but then a plastic cover to it.
Okay.
Um,
And then the refill paper, you can buy them.
yeah, and they have refill paper.
Got it.
Yeah. I
Sort of
mean,
like, yeah. You don't have to use it for samples,
right.
for
Mm.
swatches.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
girl that I happen to see on YouTube, that's why she has it, because she liked
Oh,
the idea of being able
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
have a section for each color.
And flip it like a book rather than a
Right,
binder.
right.
Okay.
Oh, Tom says it's a small rings.
Yeah, so it's got 20 small rings.
That's the only thing I didn't like, because then how many of these little notebooks am I going to have? Go
Yeah,
back
that's
to my
true.
original method then. That's
Well, everybody, to each their own how
yeah.
they like it. So,
Do you remember when you first started, whatever method you were swatching your inks on,
Mhm.
and maybe you had, a handful of ink bottles? Like I remember flipping, it was a Rhodia A5 notebook, and I mean my swatches were like huge,
huge.
and I would flip through and just think it was the neatest thing.
Yep.
Like there are moments that I miss that you know
Quantity.
Yeah, just doing it like that.
yeah, just I'm at a saturation point right now, which is why the organization is so important, so
Yeah.
that this I mean, I only own like 3 or 4 bottles of ink, but I just really want to keep.
Hmm.
I started swatching them on my traveler's notebook.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how did you start it? Oh my God,
Let's
a mental
see.
break.
That's all right. No,
Wow.
I started with a coloring as well, and what is it? After I got too many samples, that 100, and having to flip through
Yeah.
the whole coloring,
Hmm.
because I bought more samples, and so if I just had bottles, that'd be fine. But flipping through all those was just a little annoying to me, so I'd rather have a binder, and so that's how
Yeah.
and then moved next to a smaller binder, and then when I got too many inks, I had to move to an even bigger 900 like sleeve binder. So
Ooh.
it's
Um,
ridiculous.
Hi,
so
Tim.
yeah,
Tim
Hello
wants to
there.
know if there's a variation in black inks. If you ask me, oh, there's
she,
black.
she wouldn't know.
How many
Me
blacks
neither.
do you own? How many black inks do you guys own?
Uh, I have a drawer. I
Of
mean,
just
remember,
black?
I only own 4 inks. Okay, so I have a
I
drawer that is black, and there's probably 10-ish bottles of black ink, and they're totally not the same. They're yeah, I mean they
Wow.
are
uh,
completely
Wow, you
not
have
the
to win on
same.
this one.
what's that?
How many
Oh,
variations of black do you think?
how many variations of black inks? I do think that there's a lot, though I don't use black, but I do know that there are blacks. It'll go from black to very, very gray.
Mm,
And so people will consider an almost gray black still a black. And
yeah,
then you have yellowish blacks, brown blacks. It's still there.
yeah. I'm the same way. I don't use black.
Really, there
I don't,
is. I obviously didn't for a long time. Leave it to a fountain pen nerd to circle all the way back to a black Lamy 2000 with black carbon black ink in it and
yeah,
think it's the newest, most revolutionary. But I mean, for me, like I have a Diatramentus licorice ink that's black, but
yeah,
it's heavy green undertone. So black ink typically will have a blue, brown, or
yeah.
some color undertone.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I mean there are some that they are labeled black, but
Right.
when you see it on the paper, you're like, yeah, no, this not so
Oh,
much.
well, yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I will say for non-permanent ink, um, I have a bottle of Vinta Onyx ink.
Okay.
Hmm.
That is a beautiful black ink that is not, you know, permanent ink
Yeah.
or one with particulate in it. So
Hmm.
Do you guys use black only for certain things? Like I know people that only use black for like their journals.
Mm.
Or
I would
is it just when you
probably,
feel like it?
yeah, I only use black if I like have to plan things, which, I'm not a planner person. So
Mhm.
even then, like, I don't often use black. Um, and then when I do try to use black, I'm just like, I want to use another color.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how I feel.
Hmm.
it
I
it
experiment.
comes down to the line width. I think
Oh,
It comes with what?
it comes down to the line width. Like
Mm.
I would never use. I mean, okay, I think I own one broad nib, but like I wouldn't use black ink in a broad nib. It's
Mhm.
like I want the finest line
right.
possible, or a
Oh.
very thin line with a black ink, and then to me there's a beauty in that
Hmm.
crisp, in the architecture of what you're writing versus
Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree with that. Unless that black is very unique and it has tons of things yeah, that a broad could, you know,
I do
create.
have one of the Ferris wheel black inks, the one that has the silver in it, that I'm
Atlas
actually
Chain
using
Ore.
for like New Year's Eve.
oh yeah.
Um, that's the only black I experimented making. I think I sent you, Jeffrey, a sample. Locomotive locomotive something from Birmingham Pen Company.
Oh,
And
Yes.
I mixed colors and I got that really dark black. And I was so excited about it and I inked it up and I'm like, I can't do it. I can't do black. So I sent that whole bottle to my son he's an attorney. So he only can
yeah.
use,
You can only use black.
so he uses that one. I'm like, and I sent you some, Jeffrey, but other
Yes.
than that, I don't like
Oh,
it.
it's labeled Carmen's Mix.
Carmen 6? Yes, that's it. That's what I named it. Now, okay, so we all know how we do our samples. How do you keep your full bottles? How organize that? Like, how do you do that?
Well, mine's up there, so.
How many bottles do you have, Lau?
I have quite a lot. It looks like about 40 up there.
Oh,
Yes. So I have about 40 full bottles, and that's because at the beginning of my stage of being the fountain pen, community, I like kind of pretty bougie things, and so a lot of my bottles are the glass ones.
yeah.
And then if I also bought a ton of Ferris wheel press, and they just look great as a display. And so they're in their boxes, and when I need to use them, I just pull them out of the boxes, which is fine. So
That's the question I was going to ask you guys. Do you
uh-huh.
keep your boxes?
I do. I keep all my boxes in a box, like a bigger box. But it's not in my room. I just store it in like a storage room, because when I did do an ink destash 3 weeks ago,
Hmm.
I put them back into their original boxes for the new owners, and I just feel like that's an easier way to send it out as well. It keeps them a little bit more protected. So because I have space for it, I do keep it.
Yeah. I started keeping the boxes, especially for the sailors. Ferris wheel press, absolutely. I don't throw those away. But then I'm like, where am I going to keep this? So there's only a few. I don't have that many bottles. So I have a drawer, little cabinet. So I have the bottles in the top drawer. And then on the bottom drawer, I have the boxes that I kind of want to keep. But I was thinking the same way. If I ever want to send a bottle to somebody, then.
Yeah.
But I
I
threw them away.
wonder if some boxes can be like unfolded and then
Yes.
refolded later. Then
Yes.
you could just flatten them all out.
Yeah. I did think of that too. Birmingham Pen Company, you can kind of fold them in
Okay.
and you can store them.
That's nice.
So
You know where I stored the boxes to my ink?
in the garbage.
In the garbage.
You filed it under G.
So for the longest time, I kept the box for everything. Every Apple product I owned, but I mean, Apple products I go through not so much anymore, but used to, like every year, whatever the new iPad, Apple Watch, tablet, laptop. So I had all these boxes and I would save them to sell the item. But I don't think I would sell ink. If there's an ink, like I have a stack behind me that I'm destashing that I just don't love.
Right.
But there's something in my brain that's like, no, gift those. If someone can pay the shipping, I'm not going to go broke supplying you with ink. But
right.
If I buy a gallon of mango juice and then I don't like it, I'm not going to sell it to my neighbor. I just give it to them. But everyone is different. It's not. I don't think it's bad to sell ink. No. I just don't think I keep the box. And so then when you don't have the box, I feel like you're not having a saleable. Is that the word? Saleable experience. And if it's just like an open bottle. So.
Yeah, I know. Now Tom has 9 drawers, Alex system. Isn't that sort of like what you have, Jeffrey?
Yeah, mine 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Mine's like 7 or 8, and it was, I don't know, $100 on Amazon, but it actually is wood. It's not particle board. And mine's by colors: red, pink, and purple, yellow, gold, brown, then greens, then green 2, then green 3 with black, and then blues, and then oranges. There are two and a half
Know
drawers.
those.
I kind of like the idea of a drawer. I just don't have that many inks for me to do it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Plus, I have this one room, so I'm like, okay, where would I put that? Oh, what is Claire saying here?
She doesn't
Claire
want to say.
has at least 100. No, I'm kidding. Maybe she does. But
All right,
Claire,
Claire.
you have a
say
wonderful
it.
home. You
Oh
can
my
put all that
gosh.
in there.
Calligraphy skills.
No.
Timothy asks, do you have to have basic calligraphy skills to use
No.
a fountain pen, or can you just jump right into writing with one? Good question, Timothy.
I don't have any skills. That's when I use my stub nibs to make people think I do.
Yes, a stub nib is the great corrector of handwriting
Yes.
for people. Like it does something magic, but no, I agree. Like you don't need a I mean a fountain pen is a pen. Calligraphy is it's a writing style, but also there are calligraphy nibs that make that writing style better, but calligraphy is
I always knew about fountain pens, but not fountain pens. It was actually calligraphy pens because my father used to really knew how to use them.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how I grew up knowing about, he used to say fountain pens. It was calligraphy pens. So I think they're cool. But I just cheat. I use a stub nib.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, those fountain or calligraphy nibs are basically the thinnest flex nibs that you'll ever, see.
Yeah.
And it's just so fascinating seeing people do it because I could never. My hand pressure is too heavy to do anything like that.
And the sound. There's a person, and if I can find it, I'll come back and drop it in the comments. But I believe it's. Well, I'm just going to say they, because I don't know for sure. The hands, anyway, is doing these lines and the this steel nib across the paper is this really cool. And I mean the precision, and you can see there's pencil guidelines, and they're not just freehanding it. But I mean, I have lines on my paper, and I can still stay in them. And so, I mean, to see those lines, which I think good segue.
Wait, did you see Claire? She stores by brand, and she has 525. That is an amazing collection.
I was not terribly off. I mean, I was terribly off, but 525.
Wow. Now, Claire, do you keep in a cabinet? Like what? See, I like organizing by brand too. I like that idea.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. By brand is nice, like all Ferris wheel press, all Pilot.
Yeah. That's the swatch cards that I have. That's why I like it, because you can change your mind. And I'm thinking of doing this instead of color, because sometimes the colors say it's brown, but it's really orange. So I'm thinking of reorganizing it according to brands. I don't know.
Yeah, I was thinking of having two binders, one by brand, the other by color. But then that's like
Claire does that. A lot of work. I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, Claire, but I feel like Claire does them by color and by brand. I just do them by color because I can't remember half the time what. So I know that I'm looking for a green ink, and I don't want to have to go brand to brand. I like all the color together, but
right.
Yeah. Hello, Min, and hello everyone else who joined recently. Lami 2000. Yeah, we just talked about. Did we talk about Lami earlier? I think we did.
We did. She organizes them by black and not black. Oh, there you go.
That was Min. Yeah.
Yes, the cabinet. Plus, my husband loves inks. We have two. That's true. When there's two people in the family that love fountain pens and inks. That I
Okay.
get it.
Yeah. My husband will only use one fountain pen, and it's a Mickey Mouse fountain pen that I got him because he's a Disney fan. You know, like he's willing to give it a shot, but he's not a.
Carlos doesn't want anything to do with a fountain pen. Although I always keep a pen downstairs in the kitchen, like to write something, or I have my planner down there. And once in a while he'll use my pen, but no, it's only me in this family. Or my son back home. But
How do you store your nibs, Carmen?
Oh, see, now again, my collection doesn't compare to you guys. I went to Michael's or Hobby Lobby, one of those places, and I wasn't even looking for this. And it's a ring. It's supposed to be for jewelry. Hold on, give me a minute.
Okay.
I have at least like 3 extra nib units, so I could use some storage ideas as well.
Well, while she finds hers, I'll show you mine. Because
you
it's
have
the
you
same.
just put them in, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, put them in sample vials.
Yeah.
And then on the stickers on the top,
yes.
written, you know, like
Size or
some of them are branded, some of them are not. You know, extra fine flex, Ferris wheel press fountain Ferris wheel press, fountain pen revolution architect, a vintage 2668 for an Esterbrook. There's this. I've been looking for that speedball nib for 2 weeks now.
There it is. See, because you're organized.
My assumption would be that it was not where it was supposed to be, but yeah,
there it is.
And this, for what it's worth, like I bought the box with empty sample vials in it. Yeah. I think it was like $30, which I know was kind of high, and I thought I could keep looking and find
investment. That's fine.
Components separately, but I just was like perfect, and it was done. And now, I mean, these are all nibs, and there's probably some more.
Yeah,
nibs
I don't have that many. I just keep them in here.
Oh, that's cute.
Isn't it cool? I have them in there, but like I said, I don't have that.
Right, if you have that many, that's
I don't have that many. Lao, do you have
Lisa?
Hi, Lisa.
And hello, Joe. I don't have storage for my nib units. I only have 2. I think I have an extra Schmidt nib and an extra Yovo nib, and they're just in their little plastic cover, and they're sitting underneath my ink up there, because I have the platforms where you can like store stuff underneath it. So
yeah.
Why do I have so many nibs?
Bye, Claire. Thank you for coming on.
Bye, Claire.
Yeah, why do you have so many nibs? I'm like, how do you accumulate that much? Like,
yeah, I know.
Not entirely true, Tim. I just don't have the budget to buy you then.
So Tim is a Disney adult, but there doesn't seem
Disney
to be
adult
Disney in the fountain world.
I mean, Mont Blanc
There's
has
one.
But Banu has one with Steamboat Willie that they painted.
Yeah.
Mont Blanc has a couple Walt Disney. I know one of them is Mickey Mouse, but I think
it's extremely expensive, I bet.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
because Disney.
I've never seen the Mont Blanc Disney. That one I haven't seen.
Me neither.
So there's the Mickey Mouse, and I feel like it's the Walt Disney. Maybe it's the same pen, and I've just seen it from different angles. I don't know. Yeah. But I have a lot of nibs. If you're ever short of a nib,
we know where to find them. See, Min uses sample vials too. That's how I started doing it. I don't even know why I have as many as I do, because I don't change them. The only ones I change are my stub nibs. Like if I want to use a certain pen, but I want a stub nib, That's the one. And actually, that's the nib that I had the least. I need to buy at least one more because that's the one I do switch around. But
when you guys put it in your vials or like, Carmen, your storage, like, do the nibs hit surfaces, or like how do you protect the nib?
It on mine at least, it doesn't bump into any. I mean, it's all a soft plastic, a plastic. So, but I wouldn't put a gold nib in here. I don't know.
Okay. Yeah,
These
I
are
would probably feel the same.
Yeah, I don't think it bumps it, that it makes that much of any difference to it.
From what I just saw, it looks like the nib is at the corner, so it wouldn't.
Yeah, the nib. I put it so that the nib goes right on the smaller side.
Yep.
So the shoulders of the nib are hitting the.
Right, exactly. So it's not that bad.
What about pens? How are you storing your pens?
Oh.
Like, how do you organize them? Are they organized, or do you just?
Mine are. Is that a surprise?
I feel like Carmen's, yours could be by breakfast beverage and degree amount of milk that was added to the coffee that inspired the pen.
Yes,
I love that. That makes so much sense for Carmen.
Yes, it's like, hello. I have a drawer for like my Leonardos and my sailors. Then I have a drawer for the maker's pens. But now it's slowly becoming, I need to make another drawer for just my coffee pens. Because I'm getting a lot of coffee pens. I have it in an acrylic box that I got, I think it was Amazon, the drawer ones. And then I bought from Penn State, the sleeves that you can cut and put them in to make it, little slot things. And that's how I have them all organized in there.
Ooh.
Do you guys organize them?
By brand, yes. So, all of my Esterbrookes are together. I try and keep all my sailors together. All my flock of pelicans,
I like Carlos's comment. Drawers, and more drawers.
And more drawers.
When I bought that acrylic box, he goes, "Do you need that many drawers for it?" And I'm like,
"Of course.
I'm not going to have just one pen." Slowly, I think I need to. I still do diamond art, these little gold things. So I have a whole bunch of pens that I have in like the wooden box. So I think those pens are going to go into a drawer because I'm going to have to move into that little.
You put the diamond painting pens in the acrylic. I don't know. Some of the maker resins, I try and keep out of the sun. But you'll be happy to know, Carmen, that Lisa, this week, she's like, "Oh, look what I'm working on." And she showed me she was doing diamond painting. And I was like, I am not even going down that road, but by all means, connect with Carmen. She'll be so happy.
Yes. I got 2 people to go into doing diamond art. It's very relaxing, by the way.
I want to start doing that too. Yeah.
It is so, when everybody I know started it was during COVID. And there was nothing to do. And it's so relaxing. People said it, and I was like, that's not true. And you do. It's so relaxing, and I like it. I don't know.
So Tom wants to know what diamond painting is. Can you just explain a little bit about?
I'm actually right behind me. You see that picture?
Oh, that's a diamond?
That's a diamond art painting.
Wow, that was just actual painting.
Yeah, that's it. You buy, and certain companies are really good. Certain ones aren't that great. Diamond art is the best one for me anyway. And it's the picture, and it's a sticky, and it comes with a film on it. So you're supposed to uncover little by little and work on it. What is Lisa saying?
Well, I think she told me to shut up.
Oh,
and then it was a
Lisa, just contact me later, babe.
Yeah.
Oh, but then it's like paint by color, paint by number kind of thing. When you lift it, it'll give you a symbol. And then with a pen, you pick up the little diamond and you start filling in your spot, and before you know it, it's all covered. And they sparkle. They're beautiful. I think I have some on my Instagram account. You could see it.
So I think like I've done like puzzles and color by numbers with some of the kiddos
Yeah.
I work with in therapy, and some of them don't have the patience for it. So like this one,
Yeah.
it's a activity that requires patience, but also it helps you calm. So
Yeah. Oh, you definitely need patience. I got my mother-in-law into it, and it was very nice. You know, it gave her something to do, and it was relaxing, and she enjoys it. But anyway, those
Carmen,
pens. Back to the fountain pens. Those pens might go into my diamond art, huh?
Carmen tried to say like you should try this diamond art, and like we don't even have a dining room table or a kitchen table in our house. That's just not. We have a counter, like a pass-through counter.
Yeah.
So there's not really a place to do it, and there's 2 dogs, and I'm constantly losing the battle to dog hair. And so if I peeled that thing off and there was a sticky surface, it would be dog fur painting, not diamond painting. Like it's just, it looks neat, but I just, how some things are just not going to work out for you.
Not you. That's it. It's okay. No biggie.
Yeah.
Do you guys, well, this is kind of organization. Do you guys keep a log of what inks and pens you have inked up?
Yeah, I don't keep a log of every single pen, but when I do like say currently inked stuff, it kind of logs it for me in my journal.
Oh, that's true.
In that sense. But then for me personally, I don't feature every single pen I have inked up, and so there will be like 1 to 5 miscellaneous pens that I have inked up because I wanted to try a new ink. So those ones I don't log. I just kind of write it down in my journal, so then it kind of is in chronological order with my currently inked. So yeah.
Jeffrey, you don't do that.
I tried. I've been calling it my PIP notebook, which was pen and ink pairing. I decorated the cover. And that did not.
It didn't like.
It didn't take because it wasn't organic for me to think about that. Like this took swatching the samples in here, because from a process perspective, I mean, what it's worth, like I mean, my job I'm an analyst, so like that worked, but just keeping, I don't know, there were too many variables to log.
But how about if you want to refill the pen with the same ink, and then you're like, what color was this color? It doesn't matter, right?
I mean, I can.
It does matter though.
Well, weekly, you've seen my planner layout. That I normally at the bottom, the standard travelers, the Midori insert that has the Monday through Sunday on the left, and then grid paper on the right. At the bottom, I generally, the week that I ink the pen up, I'll write what the pen and ink is. You would think that I could translate that to its own notebook, but I have like 7 journals that I'm just going to have to staple them all together to follow an entire year of my life, because that's just how my brain is. But
now Tama has a good question. Do you write your pens dry, or do you empty the ink when you are tired of them? Tired of the color?
I am the latter. I get bored of something. If I don't like something, I'm not going to write with it. So I will empty it out. What I did with my Bennu talisman, it had a really lovely, soft, light blue color in it. But I'm just like, I want to pick this up and put right with shimmer.
Yeah.
So I emptied it all out, and I put in Wearing Gold Dewy Starlight, which is my favorite shimmer from Wearing Gold. And it is gorgeous. So
that just arrived yesterday. I just got it.
Good for you. Yeah, but For me, if I don't love it and I'm not going to pick up a pen, I will empty the ink
Yeah.
and change it.
I've done both. See, I have pens for my journal, and I only use that one pen for the month for the journal. So then it dries out because I write too much on it.
Mhm.
But I don't like to throw away colors, but I end up having to, because if it's not calling me, then I'm not using the pen. Do you put the ink back in the bottle?
No.
No.
We had an incident in early 2024 where I put I think I put Organic Studio Nitrogen back into the bottle of Edward's Garden.
Because you didn't know color.
I was like, I think this is
Well,
this.
there you go.
A log.
Then
If you're
on some
organized.
on some desert April videos, and I'm swatching it, and I'm like, Edward's Garden doesn't have sheen. Okay,
Yes.
never mind this bottle of
conversation.
ink. I gave it to my sister. I buy a new bottle of Edward Garden. I swatch it, and it does have red sheen. And I was like, did I just give away an entire bottle of ink? Like, I think I put the wrong ink in it, but maybe.
See?
So no, never again.
No.
I'll put it in a sample vial.
Oh,
Like,
that's true.
No, it's like, say I filled my best pen ever made ever. Fight me about it. Lamy 2000. Say it's filled with ink, and I say, oh, you know what? I haven't actually cleaned this pen in a while, and I use Lao. What ink do I use in my Lamy 2000? It's super, super black, very permanent.
Chokuro.
Thank you.
Oh.
Yeah.
And so every so often I'll think, oh, I should probably give this pen a good clean.
Yeah.
I'll put the ink in a sample because I know it's going right back in the same pen it came out of.
Mhm.
But you know,
Yeah, that's fine.
and then whatever was in there was already in there. So
Was it? Yeah.
may as
Lisa,
well.
you might want that ink back, by the way.
No, that's my sister. She can have whatever ink I have already given her. And not
Oh.
more.
Oh.
Yes, Chokuro is super expensive. It's very black as well. Is it a permanent too? I think
Yes.
it's permanent. Okay.
Yeah.
I've heard people say like, "Oh, it's not that different from carbon black." It's that different.
It is.
But full transparency, I also did not buy a bottle of it. I did. I think we mentioned this. I tried to buy a bottle of it.
Yeah.
So swapped it out. Remember on Amazon, I got gray
Oh,
water.
right. That's the one.
Yeah. And so then a friend of mine was like, you know what? I have some. I'll send it to you.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, it was gifted to me.
That's
How
nice.
beautifully it writes, though, I would say.
You'd buy one.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yes.
Oh, I like Lisa's idea. You get the ones that she doesn't like.
Yes.
That's
And so what
why you have ink people friends.
Yes, we share with each other.
We
and I
share.
get her to get hooked on these shimmer inks, and I'll tell her, oh, it's not that much shimmer. And then she gets it, and she's like, this is super shimmery. And I'm like, oh, I guess I'll have to take that.
Oh, I don't know. Do you keep a log of the pens you own?
Yes. I have an Excel sheet because I like to keep track of how much I'm spending.
Yeah.
When I bought it, who I bought it from,
Mhm.
and then whenever I do sell the pens, I log it into another sheet
Yeah.
of pens that I sold. That way I know this is how much I spent in the last 2 years.
Yeah.
And so that I can continue to like maintain a good average spending.
Yeah.
Yeah, that it keeps me kind of level-headed with my spending.
I'm surprised you do it on a spreadsheet. I always feel like if
yeah.
pen lovers, I rather write stuff down. I forget what I was trying to do the other day. Pen related, and Carlos is like, why don't you just put it on a spreadsheet? And I can't. I need to write on a pen. That's why I have it.
Mhm.
So you surprised me, but I remember now.
That's the one thing I do a spreadsheet for because it constantly changes, and I know that I'm going to be selling pens and stuff like that. and I would it wouldn't look clean if I did do it on like by analog. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing.
Jeffrey, do you do that? Do you log
I
your
don't. I started to. I have one. I have a magnificent spreadsheet. You've never seen a better spreadsheet.
Oh, so you have one too.
I mean, it has a tab for nibs and drop downs where you can select the grind of the nib, the color, the material of the nib, the pen, what the material is, what the main color is, where I bought it, all of that. And then I thought, this is laborious. So I mean,
but if you do it as you get it, it's not that bad.
Yeah.
No, you're right. I mean, that's a general rule if I just do things right in the first place.
But you had to set it all up, right? Is that?
Yeah.
Like it's built. I don't know. It's
not motivated for it.
It's a creative. Fountain pens and ink for me are a creative process, and so when it starts becoming to having to catalog it and analyze it and slice the data, and then I'm like, oh, this isn't.
It's not fun.
This isn't fun now.
Yeah.
But to tie to it, if it's an emotional thing that I'm working on, I do want to put pen to paper.
Yeah.
So, if I had some bills that I was not looking forward to paying and that I did pen on paper, wrote the numbers out, added them up, did my thing because there was some in my brain that then comes out the pen onto the paper and I'm resolved. Whereas if I type it on a spreadsheet, I'm more removed.
Yeah. I can.
I like Tom's question. I was going to bring this up. I totally forgot. Do you guys have plans for Black Friday purchases? Did you already discuss your Fountain Pen Day purchases? We actually did we? No,
we didn't talk about our Fountain Pen Day purchases. How about let's end our live with this question because we're almost towards the end. So
I know I can't believe how fast this hour has gone by.
It really did.
All right, what are your purchases?
Let's see. I bought the Hachimonjia Platinum Century 3776. It is the second edition to my
oh, that's so pretty.
Yeah, Hatsuyuki pen. And this is the winter pen, and they just came out with the autumn pen, which is autumn cherry blossoms. So that one is coming into my collection. And then I also bought a Waterman Corinne at Endless Pens.
I keep thinking about actually for Black Friday, the Waterman. All of a sudden, I keep seeing different people with Waterman, and I'm kind of like that's on my list for Black Friday.
That's good. Yeah, my friend and a lot of other people have said the Waterman Corinne is a really lovely writing experience, and I don't have any Waterman, so I'm like, let me make my add something new to my collection.
Yeah. I like the pictures I've seen. I didn't buy that much on Fountain Pen Day, other than that I'm still waiting for my King of Knights.
Yes.
Did I buy anything else? No, wait a minute. No, that's it.
What nib size did you get on your King of Pen? Or no, King of
Night?
King of the Night.
King of the Knights. I gotta find. That's my nib size. Unless it's a sailor, that's when I get a medium fine. But I love my handwriting is smaller.
I said I'm just like you.
Yeah, my handwriting is too small. So if I bought actually it's in here the broad nib. I hated it. It's too big. Then it looks like all the words are put together.
Yeah.
Yes.
So.
My platinum is a medium because medium platinum is like a sailor medium fine and a regular fine Western. So
it's funny for Black Friday, the majority, other than that one Waterman pen, the majority of the stuff on my wish list are inks. I don't have a pen that I'm kind of thinking about.
They'll come out with one.
I know.
Oh,
There
yeah,
was.
yeah. Black Friday. So,
Oh, yes.
yes. Endless Pens is coming out with a new kilk. I think it's next week. So, like, right in between now and Black Friday.
Yeah.
It is a lovely green and brown kilk. It's got gorgeous sterling silver designs on the metal. Save your money for that one. If you do not own a kilk, they write beautifully.
Oh,
Um,
oh,
like I have the Luna.
Oh,
yes. I remember. Yes, I remember that one.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
well, Carmen, definitely maybe get a Waterman. Definitely maybe,
Yes.
because I did.
Wait,
When
you
did
got
you
that for
get
fountain
that?
pen?
Yes, this was my like nice pen for fountain pen day purchase. It
Beautiful.
is a Waterman Exception Slim,
Oh.
and it is square.
Oh,
And
yes. You
So
showed me this.
interesting.
Yes. Yes.
I
Yes.
hold my like it a square pen. It's so weird, but totally fits how I hold a pen
Pen.
perfectly, comfortably. And so I have two Watermans. One I don't remember the model name. It's older, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
that's
Did
a
you see
fine.
the green one? Wait, did you see the evergreen? I think it's Diplomat. Diplomat has
Oh, yeah.
that new one that's coming out. That's another one that I'm like, okay, that could be a Black Friday. And of course I thought of you, Jeffrey, because it's green.
Yes.
Yes. Feel free to send all the green pens
Green
Green,
inks
orange.
your way,
here.
just in case.
Now, Lau, are you going to Black Friday purchase that pen from Good Pen Life that I keep seeing? The snow.
The snow one from Good Pen Life?
It's white. The section is clear with like silver flake in it from Sailor.
Oh. I don't know. I don't think so.
Mhm.
I'm like,
Anyone want to take a
let me
gentle
hold off.
person's wager on how long we go until Lau gets that pen?
Gets that pen.
Yeah.
Another sailor, right?
Yes.
Yep.
So pretty though. Folks, we are out of time, and I have a day job.
Yes.
So I must.
All right.
Yes.
Say so
Must-
long. Don't forget to subscribe and like our videos.
Yes, please.
And
That-
ask questions.
Yes.
We'll answer it next week.
Yes.
Mhm. Yes. And I did my headset today, so hopefully you guys will hear it much better in the replay.
Yeah.
Yes.
Sounded
Sounded
all right.
good.
Well, thank you so much for joining
Thank
us
you.
Bye,
today.
guys. Thank you all. See
All
ya.
right.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.